My name is Ashley Graham, and I'm a model, designer, and body activist. For 10 years, I was told I was never going to be an editorial model or be on any covers. I had been told that I was never going to be good enough, and then bam, I was considered the first plus-size model to be in Sports Illustrated. So, boom, shakalaka. I am in sunny California, shooting America's Next Top Model, season 24, and I've got a rare day off.
The beach is the perfect place to catch some rays and read your favorite book.
Hey guys, I just got to the Philippines and my tour guide is on that plane. I can't wait to see her. Hi, how are you? We are here in Prospect Heights at the Big View. Welcome to my American Next Top Model dressing room. You want to check it out? Hi guys. As I flash everyone, I didn't know what to wear, so I just decided to wear this.
I think you did know what to wear because we're wearing pretty much the same outfit.
And our shoes tie.
Guys.
Jamie and I have done
better.
summer camp sleepovers, so sorry if we have a lot of inside jokes.
I actually just coaxed her here and told her that we were doing an interview, but really I just wanted to hang out. So we're gonna chat. You guys can watch or not. And just kidding. Hi, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm fantastic.
Guys, look who it is. Let's get one more round of applause.
These microphones are heavy, right?
A little bit. Should we do some workouts? No, I have workout questions later. You're
All right, fine.
You're
All
getting
right.
ahead of our
Talk to
plan.
me, Jamie.
So first of all, let's just talk about the year, the 2 years, the 3 years since the first time I ever had a conversation with you.
Right.
It's a completely different world.
Man, my life has just kind of, it's just spiraled into something so amazing. And now the body positivity movement is not just a trend. Like, so many people are about it and they're for it. And you're seeing girls like me and so many different types of beauty on the covers of magazines and on TV. And it's beginning to become normal. Oh my God.
Can you believe it?
You know, it's so interesting that you have to fight for something that feels so normal to yourself, right?
Absolutely. But do you feel like, I mean, you know, you're probably not going to say this, but I can tell you that you are largely responsible for all of this happening, right? So do you ever sit back and think like, holy crap, this is, I did this. I helped do this.
It's not something that like I wake up on a Saturday morning and think, oh, I've changed the world. But when I have conversations with people like you, it's like, oh yeah, I was the first person to do that or say that, or I was the first girl to, you know, start talking about cellulite and not have it be like a taboo thing. It's amazing, and I just think that we're still in the middle of the fight, and I can't like start patting my back for the little victories. There's still so many more to go.
I know, but I think, I mean, I could just spit some of them out right now. We have, mind you, I've also written about all of these things, so I have them kind of like a Rolodex in the back of my mind. But, you know, you have magazine covers, you have a book, you have this web series, you're on America's Next Top Model, you have successful lingerie collections. You know, I don't need to read you your resume, I guess. You already know it.
Yeah, kind of, a little bit.
What has been kind of like the most, I won't say the greatest moment, but what kind of sticks out into your mind over these past few years that you're just like, wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Definitely being on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I mean, that was not only an eye-opening experience for me, but I think the world. Mm-hmm. And I think it needed to happen, whether it was me or another curvy girl. It was time. And Sports Illustrated, I mean, I will still, to this day, give them the kudos and give them everything for putting me, and I always say, taking a chance and a risk for putting a big girl on the cover of Sports Illustrated, because for so long, you know, it never was even a conversation. It was never even a thought process, I don't think, for them. And then having been in the ad the year before, it kind of like proved to them like, oh, wow, it's not only like, do we need to see that, but like our viewers want to see that. So, hey, let's put her in the magazine.
And I think that that's kind of across the board, right? Like, you have designers, you have brands, you have, you know, magazines saying like, well, our girl doesn't want that, our reader doesn't want that. And then you see something even as recently as, you know, there's a new, I'm sure you saw it, a new brand called Prem. That's
yes.
Nicolette Mason and Gabby Gregg, who put out this line of actually fashionable, affordable pieces for up to size 30, and the site crashed, right? Like immediately. So I'm curious what you think about, but on the other hand of that, we still have so much more to go, and you still have a lot of people who are not willing to adapt and change with the times. So why do you think that is, and how do you think we push forward and get there?
Well, one thing that I've known is we don't have to focus on what we don't necessarily have or how long it's taken. I've been doing this for 17 years, and I've been told, this is just the way the fashion industry is, and you just have to get over it. And then in the last few years, it's like, oh, actually, there's been little cracks and doors open, and now they're like wide open, and here we are, we're not leaving. But there's still so much of the conversation of how do you feel about the word plus size? What does it feel like to be a big girl in a skinny world? Oh, you're so brave for being in a bikini on the beach. It's like, brave where? That's just my body. So that's really where I see that we really need to change, and we need to not have to have these conversations anymore. Right. The time will come. Yes, we need them right now, but if we're still having these in 5 years, I mean, it's like gonna be like, okay, guys, like if you don't get it now, you're never gonna get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the Ashley Graham Project.
Yes.
Because I think anyone who follows you and who, follows your Instagram and on social media knows that you're kind of an open book. But I think having cameras around.
Buy the book.
an open book. Wink, wink. But
so subtle.
What do you mean?
At least that keeps it real.
Yeah, hell yeah. But having cameras follow you around all the time is probably quite a different experience. I imagine it's the same now with paparazzi and things like that. What is that like, and how has that changed how you interact in the world?
Well, the Ashley Graham Project is kind of like this baby that I've been cradling for a while, and now the baby's like walking, and it's like, oh my gosh, Verizon Go 90 wants to do a show with me? Great, this is a great way to get one of my million ideas out there. So it's on Verizon Go 90 on their XO channel, and it's basically little vignettes of my life, kind of going everywhere with me, like Amsterdam, Philippines, my daily life as a model, but also what I'm doing when I'm out in California or when I'm at Top Model. And you're not coming like into my personal, like my bedroom. No. You're basically like in hair and makeup with me, but then you're on the set with me and you're seeing a little bit how stressful it is, but also how much fun I'm having. And then I'm also meeting people. I'm embracing myself in the cultures that I'm around. And it's been so much fun to be able to do that. So you get a little slice of my life. You like that, Jamie?
I really like that. It rendered me speechless, I think. And a slice of your life.
Like when we put our bunk beds together at summer camp.
Yeah, you guys, as a side note, the first time Ashley and I spent any time together, we were up at a camp in a bunk where we were
constipated. It was awful.
It was awful. We were constipated.
Oh.
Have you guys ever had camp food?
Oh, it was really terrible. And that's all we could talk about.
For like years, to this day. It's been like
obviously
3 years.
To you guys. Yeah, it was awful. It's the worst feeling.
I want to talk a little bit about, you have openly and very eloquently dealt with criticism and, comments from your followers or from people who criticize you for losing weight or for looking different or, pretty much anything that you do at this point, right? Yeah. And we know how you publicly handle it like a boss, but how do you handle it personally and how does that affect you?
Words always have power. And that's something I have always been very confident about and talking about affirmations. So words have power on the other way too. They can take you down, they can not build you up, and they can make you feel crazy. And something I did when I was announced as one of the rookies for some Sports Illustrated is I started reading the comments after they had announced me.
Oh no.
And I literally started hysterically crying because there were men who were like, who is this fat cow who now is in Sports Illustrated? How dare she come in? There was women that were saying, oh, I work out every single day of my life, and then this heifer can come in and be in a magazine. And reading that at first really just made me feel like I've ruined the magazine. They took a chance on a big girl, now I ruined it for them. And then I don't know why, but I kept reading because you get into a black hole.
It's like a car crash. You
It's serious.
can't
Like
look away
Instagram
from
is
it,
like
yeah.
a black hole. You can just be like, next page. Ooh, new comments. Oh, it's crazy. And then all of a sudden, people started standing up for me and saying, no, this is what we need. This is where the industry should be going. And I really think that from that moment, I'm like, nah, I can't just be like about the haters. I can't like feed into what they're saying about me. I have to know that there's so many other men and women out there who need representation like this, who need representation on a whole other scale that we still don't see in social media, in fashion. So it made me really excited after that when I was like, you know what, let the haters be the haters and let them be your motivators. And you know, I'm so excited when I get to talk to my fans on social media. I will always go in and kind of like read the comments and say what's up, or you know, if they have a question about like what sizing my bras are, I'll be like, make sure you know, size down or size up, you know, all of that stuff. So it's fun. It's actually, I like to engage with them.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's kind of, there are two sides of it, right?
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you have to take the negativity if you're going to put yourself in this vulnerable open position, but then it's like the reward is even that much bigger.
Exactly. And I mean, when you're changing an industry, you're going to hear negative stuff constantly. Yeah. And I have, and I've been told no, and I've been told you can't, and you won't, and you will never. But here I am.
And you did.
Boom.
Boom. Speaking of that laugh, I love that laugh so much.
It's a trademark.
It's a trademark laugh. I try to like... Come on.
Thanks, Mom.
Okay. Oh, you're just doing my job for me. I was going to segue with, you know, confident words having power and being confident, but you also get your laugh from your mother, and you've talked a lot about how she always you've been confident your whole life. You've had, you know, Ish would get into that.
Yeah, you read the book.
Yeah, but you know, your mom never made you feel less than, or you grew up in a house where your mom had an impact on your confidence, right? And I think that is not really true for a lot of women. And I just want to know where you think confidence starts, and how your mom had an impact on you, and what advice you would give to moms or to daughters who might not be lucky enough to have that from their own mothers.
Well, confidence really comes from yourself. It's not like a pill you take. It's the number one question I get asked. Where do you get your confidence? It's not like one day I woke up and I'm like, oh, I'm confident today. Boom, it happened. Yeah. That's just a load of BS if anybody ever tells you that, by the way. I really believe we are products of our parents or whoever raised us. You know, you will come out being like the people who raised you in one way or another. And my mother, she never looked in the mirror and said, I'm ugly. She never in front of me said, oh, I need to go on a diet, or I'm not healthy, or oh, I'm ugly today, or whatever. So I never knew that that was even something to say about myself. I learned all that negative crap from the girls in middle school and high school. And so then my mother would affirm me, no, you are smart enough. You are strong enough. Those were her things, like smart and strong. Pretty was never a thing for her. And I write about in my book, like, she's like, yeah, people said you were pretty, but were you pretty? We don't know. Like, so I guess we'll go try and have you be a model. I don't know. And I really believe that even if you are a mom who is so insecure in yourself, if you have those words that come out like, oh gosh, I need to go on a diet. Oh gosh, I don't look good in this. Your daughter and your son is going to say those things in one capacity or another. You have to watch it. It's hard. I mean, it's like a lot of pressure anyways being a parent. I'm sure I'm not one, but I've had many conversations with my mom, and she's like, you know, you can never do right. And I understand that. But if you can consciously change your words, how you speak about yourself in front of your kids, because they know they're a product of you. So if you're if you're giving yourself negativity, then they're like, oh crap, then I'm just like that. I'm just like my mom.
And I think, you know, as you grow up and as you become an adult and you realize that it's not easy to be a parent, I think we're under the impression that it's easy to be a parent when we're kids. When we're kids.
Oh, yeah, when we're kids.
Well, you know, I give my mom a lot more credit today than I probably
your mom is groovy.
Well, yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, her red hair, I love it.
We have her best friend in the audience, actually.
Oh, hi, mom's best friend. Hey, hey.
You know, but I think that it can be difficult because like you said, I look in the mirror sometimes and I'm like, I feel gross. I don't like the way I look today. How do you just turn that off all of a sudden when you have to be responsible for another human life. It's not easy.
It's not easy, and I'm not saying that it is. I mean, I wake up some days and I feel like I'm going to take over the world and conquer everything in life, and then the next day I feel like the most insecure person in the world. And I really think those low days are the days that you have to give yourself affirmations, that you have to talk yourself out of that funk, that you have to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who aren't going to take you down. I mean, like, I had a boyfriend who, you know, was a negative person in my life, and did I realize it early enough? No, it took me 2 years to understand that, and it was perpetual negativity. And I think that if you have the tools to make that bad day a good day, you fake it till you make it, you use those affirmations, you too can have a good day. But it's really just about making a conscious effort.
Yeah, absolutely. Fake it till you make it.
That's how I got here.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like when I hear that phrase, I hear your voice saying it.
Yeah,
and you're laughing.
Till you make it.
I have a recording of it in my bedroom. I just play it.
Fake it till you make it.
You guys should just record that and keep it as your alarm, because
Right.
it wakes me up. It wakes me up every morning.
Fake it.
It's
Frightening.
also, you know, another thing that you talk about in your book, and that if anyone who follows you knows, you have posed now countless times in the nude.
Naked.
And you've
We got one clapper.
Yeah, we can clap posing naked. And you talk about how you grew up being naked. You and your sisters. It was like never a
born
thing.
naked.
You were born naked. Which I would like to let's unpack that, because not everybody is born naked. And you talk about how you've always felt comfortable, and I think even now being backstage at shows, and that's kind of a chaotic thing. Not everybody is as comfortable.
There's nipples everywhere.
Yeah, but has that changed at all? Like, has it, doing nude shoots as opposed to just being naked backstage? Like, is that a different thing? Do you feel more self-conscious about it at all ever?
The easy answer is to say no, but I think people don't understand that, because my life is so different than the regular 9-to-5er. Because at a desk job, you don't get naked ever for.
You haven't been to my desk job in a while.
Most. So to say I'm comfortable naked on set is kind of shocking for some people, because that's my office. I mean, this is kind of what I do. My first job, I talk about in my book. Yes, the book. Damn it, just go buy the book.
Go buy the book.
I talk about how my first job at 12 years old was a bra.
Right.
And really, that's how it started. And I've just always kind of had to be half naked. And then when I realized being half naked, it's not about being sexy necessarily, or sexuality. It's really about showing a body that hasn't been shown in media before, that's been praised, that's been told is beautiful, that other women know I have those lumps and bumps. Mm-hmm. Oh, my butt is shaped like hers. Oh, my breasts are saggy as well. Wow, somebody's putting that in a magazine, that's on a cover. Okay, so that's really why I do nudes or lingerie, swimwear, all of that. And yeah, it gets really comfortable after you do it for the 10th time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
all of a sudden you're
this
just
is the 11th. I'm just kidding.
Right. Take it off.
By the way, this is becoming a photo shoot. Just kidding. God.
I know.
I want to ask, you have become this role model to so many women, whether you like it or not. And you've had a huge impact on many women, myself included, just watching you in your career grow. I'm gonna get up to your head. Do you feel, but there's also a certain amount of pressure that comes along with that, to do certain things or to act a certain way. Do you feel that, and how do you kind of deal with that?
Well, I'm the oldest of 3 girls, and my mom always told me, she's like, you're a role model. Whether you like it or not, your sisters are always watching you. They're always gonna mimic you, do what you do, say what you say, and whether they say they love you or hate you that day, it just is what it is. So I've always kind of looked at my fans as my sisters, and we're in this together. This is a fight that we are all fighting. And one thing that I've never done is changed who I am for media. I've never changed myself.
I can attest to that for sure.
I've never changed myself at summer camp. I've never changed myself in an interview or on set. And I think that is really important, because you don't really get that authenticity anymore with celebrities or models or people in the public eye. And I think that's important to show young women, it's great to be yourself.
Yeah.
In fact, you should be yourself because that's the way God made you. So go after it and go do it. And
people just feel like they know you. They're your friend.
Yeah.
Like you are so good at making your followers feel like they're your family,
they're my
your friends.
besties.
Yeah.
Like we could all hang out if it was possible.
No, well, let's do it. I'm gonna do everybody
hangout
watching
session
right
begins.
now. We'll meet you at. I have one more question, then we're gonna turn it over
Okay.
to the audience. There's a part in your book where you're talking about your lingerie show.
Yes.
And about the hair and makeup, and about there was something with the makeup that you weren't really vibing
Right.
with, and you told them with your laugh and in a
Yes.
way that made it feel like you were just being very nice
Yes.
about it, right?
Yes.
And it kind of made me think about being a woman in charge and being, the boss, because you are by and large the boss of a lot of things now. How do you manage that? Do you feel like it's difficult? Do you feel like it's something you've had to work hard to get to?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm 29 years old, and I've had to really make a lot of hard decisions up until this point, and a lot of big business decisions as well. And in that moment, I was like, how do I tell them I don't like this makeup, but not tell them in a way that's going to take away all the creative that they even thought to put together? And I just basically said it. And I was like, I don't want to sound like a bitch, because you always are a bitch if you say it the wrong way.
Which, we need to
right?
squash that.
Right?
You're
Isn't
not
it?
a bitch if you
No.
want something the way
just because
done
you
the way
want
you want it.
Exactly. So I just did it, and they were like, "Cool, let's do it." Because I don't think you will never know the answer unless if you ask, and that's what my father always taught me. He's like, "You're never gonna know if you don't ask. Yeah. So ask." And that's what I do, and that's kind of how I also I communicate with my team. We know we're a team, but also we know that we can talk very directly to each other, because that's how we set it up from the beginning. Right. And whoever the boss is, you set the tone. This is your arena. So however you set the tone is the way things are gonna go. So I always set the tone with kindness first, and then let's get ish done, baby.
Hell yeah. I think that's great advice for in life too,
Yeah.
right? Okay, well, we're gonna open it up to the audience for some questions.
Hello, darling.
So you've done all sorts of different things, from magazine covers to this new project, and I was wondering what type of medium, or if there's any sort of specific projects you'd like to do next, or what you'd like to break into.
Well, I will tell you, I think that we need cosmetics. I think that we need clothing. I think that we need some cool shoes, like all of that. And I think that it's something that I definitely want to break into in a bigger way, and I think it's gonna happen pretty soon.
Oh my God, I feel like we're getting in on a secret. We have one more question over here.
One more. Hi.
Hello. I wanted to know, what was the best piece of advice that was given to you when you started your modeling career?
Best piece of advice that I was given when I started my modeling career was make sure that you okay, so there was a lot of things that were given to me, because everybody likes to give you advice. One thing that stayed with me is you're as good as your last job. And so every job I treated as if it were my last job. And I think that kind of gave me a reputation of hardworking, ready to do whatever it takes to get this shot. And I think that that's very important in any industry.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much,
Thanks,
Ashley.
Jamie
Do you
Feldman.
know? Thanks, Ashley Graham. Do you know offhand how people can watch the Ashley Graham Project?
Yes, you can go to Verizon Go 90. It's an online app, and we are on the XO channel, baby.
And if you didn't know, Ashley actually has a book. I'm not sure if you've heard, but
Yeah.
you can buy
A
that
new
now
model.
too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys
Thanks,
so
guys.
much.
You were fantastic.